it's Brandon Colonel again. The next video that I've got for you guys is chronicling my adventures at Blade Show. Because I actually ended up getting to go over this past weekend, and it was absolutely amazing. For anybody who didn't go to Blade Show or was unable to go to Blade Show, I really hope that you guys go next year because it is absolutely amazing. You don't even know what you're missing out on if you didn't go. It's hands down one of the best experiences of my life. It was that amazing. So, I am going to quickly get out of the way the various purchases that I made. And the first purchase that I made was probably a game of Spot the Noob, because new people apparently tend to spend money very quickly, and then possibly regret it later when they come across something that they could have bought elsewhere. That would be from this package. Jason Browse of Browse Blades. I ended up getting the Jason Browse Dustin Turpin collaboration Strife. Absolutely amazing knife. I really love this thing. There is no way on earth that this thing is ever leaving my collection, is ever getting demoted as one of my favorites in my collection. This thing is absolutely amazing in every way. Review to come on this thing, but I definitely want to put it through the ringer a little bit. Definitely want to be able to use it, see just what it can take. Because this is not exactly going to be a save queen. I'm sure I paid $500 for this, but this is not going to be a save queen for me. I mean, it's fully titanium lined. It's got D2 steel. Carbon fiber is incredibly strong. I'm going to be using this thing. This is not exactly a pretty princess that needs to be kept away from abuse. And so, review to come on that later. And also a story later on in the video about this knife. The second knife that I got is from Riadi. You open it up, and it's got a nice little pouch in there to keep it nice and safe. And I ended up getting the Hills. This is a really, really nice knife. First experience with ceramic bearings as well. Still breaking this thing in. I have taken it apart, and it actually had a couple of really cool things on the inside of it that I'll get to in the video. But yeah, the knife is still breaking in overall. It's not quite dropping under its own weight, but I can definitely tell that it's smoothing out a lot. But the action is really good. I do like that a lot. But yeah, this blue is one of the things that made me buy it. I was actually originally looking at the Horizon D in carbon fiber, but I decided that I wanted to save just a little bit of extra money just in case there was something a little bit cheaper that I wanted to get later on, and getting the Horizon D would have definitely wiped me out. So, but yeah, so I didn't get that. Let's see. I ended up finally getting a dedicated tube of knife lubricant. It's nano oil. Haven't exactly decided whether or not I like it more than the gun oil that I typically buy. Just literally says gun oil. Haven't completely decided whether or not I like that better, or if it's just as good or maybe worse. I've heard some people say that once it officially works in for a little bit, then it gets better. I don't know. I've had this for 2 days and I've used it once. So, don't quite know just yet, but give you an update later on, maybe in one of the reviews that I put this stuff in. As far as the next and the last purchase that I made, this is from a company that probably you guys haven't heard of. I know I hadn't before I actually bought it. I've been looking to upgrade my belt knife that I've been carrying around. The Obaki's nice, and I really do like it, but it's not the most comfortable thing in the world. It's not the easiest thing to put on in the world. I do like how concealable it is, which is why I still might be carrying this thing every so often, and I also like the fact that it's a Kwaiken. And I've been really partial to the Japanese designs lately, so this will still get carried, but it probably won't be carried quite as much. But yeah, so this is from a company called Knife Ranch. I'm still doing a bit of research into the company, so I'm finding out just exactly what they are. I couldn't completely tell if it was like a custom maker that was just charging really low prices. I got this thing for $30, and it's made of Damascus steel. And he was actually able to tell me exactly what was in it, which I've got it written down somewhere, but I don't remember off the top of my head. But, yeah. Oh, I don't remember where I put it. It's on my phone, which is what I'm taking the video on, so wouldn't be able to look it up anyways. But, he said something about, like, it 10-something steel and 41-something steel. So far, it's been able to take a really keen edge, and really sharp polish as well. Haven't exactly taken it up to the 10,000 grit yet, but I plan on doing that today. But, yeah, this is a really, really good little knife, and I plan on putting this thing through the ringer. Really testing this thing out, seeing just how much it can handle. I plan on whittling with this thing. I plan on opening boxes. I plan on doing a lot with this knife to see just what it can handle. Because particularly when I told the owner that I planned on doing a review on it, then he was more than happy to tell me everything that was inside of this knife, and he actually told me to email him a link to the video, so that way he could do whatever he needed to with it. He's probably going to put it on his site or something. But yeah, I really like the sheath. My only thing about the sheath is that I would like it to be upwards carry, but the way that it's designed only for sideways carry. So I may do some kind of a modification on that to fix it, but otherwise it's not bad. I do like it, and it's really not all that obtrusive to do it sideways carry. I mean, if somebody knew what they were looking at, then yeah, they'd probably notice the big bulge on my side, showing I've probably got something there. But most people probably wouldn't give it a second glance. But yeah, I'll still look into doing some kind of a modification to make it tip down. Now, that's the last of the knives that I bought. Let's get into the various swag. This ended up coming with my Strife. For everyone that bought something at Jason's table, he ended up giving them a free carbon fiber money clip. And so, don't exactly use money clips, but this will make a nice gift to someone else that might actually use money clips. So, yeah, this will be seeing a nice home sometime soon. Let's see. I got a lot of cards. And all of these I will definitely be looking into at some point in time. Because I only took the cards from makers or dealers that I thought would actually be able to have a home in my collection later, or that I thought would be able to have a place on my Instagram for things to look at later that I would definitely enjoy. But yeah, so got a lot of cards. Day 2 is pretty much card collecting day, and saying just how many I could get. Let's see. I also got a couple of Jason Brow stickers. This one, sometime after the video, is definitely making it on my car. Not exactly trying to hide the fact that I'm a knife collector, so yeah, that'll definitely be making it to my car. Don't quite know what I'm going to do with the black one yet, but I got it just in case. Let's see. Got a couple of interesting patches. Got this one. I actually got two of these for whatever reason. They were stuck together. And then I got this. Let's see. Got a Spyderco pin somewhere just because. Here, let me pause that real quick. Okay, I found it. I got this little Spyderco pin here. Have no clue what knife that actually is. But, yeah, it's a decent pin. It's a knife. Something that I can put on something else. But, yeah, I basically walked up to the Spyderco booth and said, if you were trying to sell me on Spyderco, which knives would you show me? And she ended up showing me basically all the knives that I had discounted in my time of looking at Spyderco. But I did find that the FRN isn't quite as bad as I thought it was. It definitely feels a lot sturdier than anything else that I've handled before with FRN. But it's still not for me. The only knife that she ended up showing me that I did like was the Paramilitary 2. She didn't show me anything beyond that, which probably would have been knives that I liked. But yeah, she didn't show me anything beyond that. But so moving on from that, let's see, what else? I ended up stopping by this one outdoor custom knife maker. He just makes like outdoor custom fixed blades, and for everybody that even visited his table, he ended up giving them free sharpening equipment, and these are supposed to be like 400 grit pieces of something. Feels like it could be ceramic, but then again, it could be like the silicon stones that I use. I honestly don't know exactly what it is. I just know that he told me that it was 400 grit, and he actually gets them for free himself from this particular company that I think they manufacture trucks, and they use these to smoothen out the inside of piston rings, and he gets the parts that are cut off that aren't quite big enough to do the job, and so he gets these things by the thousands. And so he takes them to shows, and he just hands them out like candy to anybody who visits his booth. And so, always happy to get new sharpening equipment. I've even tested it out, and these work really nicely. I do like these a lot. Let's see, I went to the Hogue booth, and ended up getting like 3 of these things. Basically, they're just knife pads. Hogue Elishewitz Extreme Series knives. So, not really anything special, probably nothing that I'll actually be using. Might give one of these away to someone else. But yeah, they may come in handy somewhere. I may repurpose them into something else. Also got some kind of a coin from them. Here, one sec. Okay, I found the coin. It's basically just saying Hogue knives, killing it, 124. This was basically the coin that they were using to do their instant winner scratch and win game thing. Some people were getting knives if they were the grand prize winner, or just the big winner. I think a couple of people got knives, and everybody else got this and the coin and some random coupon code that was only good for like 2 weeks. So, seeing as pretty much everybody will have already blown their money at Blade Show, I don't see how there was going to be too many people who could actually use this thing. Yeah, I found the card here saying Blade Show special offer: save 10% off of Hogue knives and receive free shipping with code BladeShow2015 at HogueInc.com. Hurry! This special offer ends June 21st, 2015. And so, yeah, I won't exactly be able to, probably won't be able to use this thing at all, because their knives are fairly expensive, and like I said, I just blew all of my money. So, just like most everybody else here will have blown all of their money. I actually did get a couple of other cards that had coupon codes on them. Let me see if I can find those. I got the Klecker knives and CRKT knives. CRKT has a 50% off coupon code. And let's see, how long is this good for? This is good for like the next 2 years, so this will definitely be seeing some use from me. And Klecker knives receive 20% off, 25% off any item in your next online purchase at kleckerknives.com when you enter the coupon code. Let's see, how long does this actually last? Doesn't seem to have an expiration date on it. Just says on your next online purchase at Klecker Knives. So this could actually get to see some use for me. Because I actually had a couple of really decent knives there that I might want. But yeah, so both of these will definitely be seeing some use from me. This one, yeah, no. Like I said, 2 weeks in, I'm not even going to have enough money to buy a CRKT, most likely. But so, let's see, what else? Well, I think that's about it for the stuff that I collected. And the stuff that I bought, and things that I got, everything like that. Now, let's go on into my experience at Blade Show. As I said earlier, first 5 minutes, this box was already in my bag, and this knife was already in my pocket. Now, after I actually bought this, then two particular things happened. Which, the second thing was the one that basically guaranteed Jason a permanent spot in my collection, and guaranteed permanent future purchases from him. Now, the first thing that happened was apparently his software that actually took my card didn't want to accept my card, and I didn't find out until the next day, far later. I looked at my account, and for whatever reason, the $499 that I had spent on this had returned to my account, and it wasn't showing a charge from Jason anywhere on my account statement. Called the called my bank for my debit card, and they said they couldn't find it until eventually they saw where it said that there was a failed charge. There was some kind of a verification error, and so ended up going back to Jason, and they were really, really grateful that I came back to them to check with them, and got my email so that way they could personally email me whether the charge goes through or not. So if it ends up going through, and I've still got the money in there, well, guess what? I've got an extra $499 basically for free in my account that I didn't have before, because they've got their money, and for whatever reason the money came back to me. At which point, basically about half of that, if not more, will be going directly back into Jason and his knives, because these guys are awesome people, and I really want to support them a lot. So if it doesn't go through, then they're going to be also emailing me for that, saying, hey, let's put the charge through again. Here's how you can do it, and we'll just recharge the account. And at which point, like I said, just to recharge the account, they get their money. Either way, I made sure that they actually get their money, because this is an amazing knife that deserves every penny that I spent on it. And beforehand, I could not have justified $500 on any knife. But then I started watching Gem Skeleton's channel, seeing the quality that actually goes into these things, and this is worth every penny. The carbon fiber alone is really high quality. But then you get into that action. Oh my gosh, is this thing smooth. I really like the action on this. And the flipper tab is amazing. Now, for the second thing that guaranteed my business basically for the rest of my life and the rest of the existence of his company. After I'd actually left, after taking care of the whole money fiasco, then I actually started handling my knife a little bit again, only to find out that there was blade play, and it was a fair amount of blade play, and it was sideways blade play, and so me and my limited knowledge of how knives work ended up thinking, oh, it's probably just a loose pivot screw. So I went to a nearby to one of the nearby knife tables and asked if they had any Torx drivers, so that way I could just quickly tighten up my knife. And they had one, so I ended up tightening the screw, but it didn't get rid of it. Didn't tell these guys that, but because they were nice enough to let me use it. But so I gave them their driver back. It said thank you, but then I went back to Jason and was like, "Hey, it's me again. Just curious, would there be anything causing side-to-side blade play that tightening down the pivot screw would not fix?" And he looked shocked and took the knife immediately and said, "Come back in an hour, and I'll definitely have this thing fixed, because I don't want any knife going out less than perfect. It could ruin my name, could ruin my company, but more importantly, it could ruin how you view my company. I do not want anything going out less than perfect." So he took the knife, and still, while talking to everybody, was able to fix the knife on scene. And when I got back in an hour, he recognized me right away and pulled the knife out and showed me that it's working just fine now. And thanked me profusely for coming back to him instead of trying to take it apart myself and fix it, or possibly looking down on his company for the fact that there was a significant amount of sideways blade play. And he said that he had to completely take the knife apart and rebend the lock bar in order to fix that play. But then after that, we talked for a pretty good amount of time about just random stuff. I mean, he talked to me about this video game on his phone that he plays. I don't even remember how that conversation started, but he's just a really nice, genuine guy. And I even talked to him about possibly replacing this deep carry pocket clip with a custom non-deep carry pocket clip. And now he did say that I would have to wait about maybe 2 or 3 months before he would be able to get to it, because for one, his wife is pregnant. 2, he's got to settle back into his shop. 3, he's got to settle in knife orders and all kinds of stuff like that. And 4, apparently he's got a couple of custom things that he's still working on right now. But all in all, it'll take about 2 to 3 months, maybe 4, before he actually has a chance to work on this, at which point I can send it back into him, or at least give him a call first, and see if he'd be able to. And then if he can, send it back into him. And then about a month or 2 later, I'll basically have a one-off version, my very own one-off version of Strife that does not have a deep carry clip. And so, yeah, he was really cool about it. He was saying that he'd love to do it. Anything to make somebody like his knives even more, he is more than happy to do. Because in his words, he may have production knives out, but he's still a custom maker at heart. Anything that he can do to customize a knife, anything that he can do to make a customer happy, he's ecstatic to do. So yeah, he will definitely be seeing some added business from me in the future. Now let's see. I also got to meet Jim Skeleton, who is the guy who actually talked me into both of the folder purchases that I got. Both of these were reviewed on Jim Skeleton's channel, and I got to talk to him and show him both the knives that I got. I basically just walked up and was like, "Hey, you're Jim, right?" "Yeah, that's me." "You know you're a dangerous man, right?" And he kind of had just a funny look for about a second, and then he was like, "That's what they tell me. So what'd I do this time?" And I just chuckled and was like, and then I just simply pulled out this knife and was like, "You're the reason for this." And then I started digging through my bag and was like, "And for this." And then he just laughed, and it was like, yeah, it only gets worse from there. After you start handling quality like this, then you only want more and more and more, until eventually you look at your Kershaws and you think, why in the world did I ever think that was quality? And now, while I don't think that I'll ever look at my Kershaws and think that, I do understand what he's saying. I'll never go back to them, and I probably won't ever carry them again thinking it the same about them ever again. I won't be able to compare it to this, saying, "Oh, it's every bit as good as my Jason Browse flipper, or every bit as good as my Rieti Hills." There's no way on earth that I'm going to compare it like that. So I understand what he's saying, but I still won't look down on my Kershaw purchases. But yeah, the really, really awesome guy. Ended up being able to get a nice picture with him and talk to him for about 5 minutes, and just had a really nice time with him. Also got to meet Kayla Cummings, which she's an amazing person. She was actually more of a thrill for me to meet than Jim Skelton. Reason being is because Kayla Cummings is the very first person that I ever subscribed to on YouTube. She is the person who I owe most of my early knife knowledge to before I actually saw Cutlery Lover, and at which point I started learning a lot from him. But probably a good 45% of the knife knowledge that I have came from Kayla. And but also, she was a bit of the baseline for the channel that I have now. Particularly in the beginning, I started thinking, so how exactly should I do this? How in the world should I go about showing various things on this channel? And then I started thinking about Kayla Cummings' channel, and how she handled hers, and there I had my answer. I was like, okay, so this is how I take care of the channel. This is how I portray things, and it went off fairly well. And but one of the really cool things was when I actually told her about this. Then she instantly wanted to know my channel name, and she wrote it down so that way she could look it up later, and see just how good it is. Now, what she thinks of it, I don't know. If she's already looked at it or not, I don't know. But yeah, that made me really excited that she was taking down my channel name, so that way one of my YouTube heroes is actually checking out my channel. So yeah, that made me really excited, and but yeah, I got to talk with her for a little bit, and after I showed her the 2 folders that I got, instantly she pulled out one of hers. I can't remember the name of the company, but it was some. I think it was some assisted knife. Either that or it was an automatic, but it was a really sweet knife, and she was like, if you've got the money to buy those, definitely look into this. And just as happy as could be, and I looked it over, and it was a really nice knife. And then I think I went back over to the booth to find that exact knife, and I think it was like $200, maybe $300. So, but being an automatic, not exactly the type of thing that I'd look into too often, because I really like my manuals. Just personally a better feel to me. I got the Lightning OTF just because. I may look into a knife like hers in the future, just again, one of those just because knives. It's button lock automatic, So, may look into it later, but who knows. My taste may change later. But yeah, I got to talk to her for a decent period of time, and then ended up taking a picture with her the next day because I forgot to take it with her while I was there because I was pretty much in full-on fanboy mode when I was talking to her. So I had to remember to talk to her the next day to get the picture. And yeah, I got a really nice picture there. Ended up getting a picture with Jason Browse on the third day that I was at Blade Show. But the guy that took that one didn't exactly get a decent picture, and I didn't exactly look at the picture after he took it to make sure it was good. So